Hi guys, welcome back to our channel, the number one place for people who love design, art and all things creative. I'm Jacqueline and I'm an interior architect and designer here at D&B. In today's video, I'll be showing you guys how I use planners and notebooks to organise my life and what I feel is the most productive way to organise all my thoughts in my head down onto paper. If you're like me and you're overly organised and love using planners on a daily basis, weekly basis, and even to plan out the whole year, I hope that this video is really good for you guys who are beginners, but also for you guys who've been using your planners for a long time. I really love this quote by Benjamin Franklin, which is, "By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail." Think about that for a sec. And there was actually a study done by Harvard Business that revealed that 83% of the population do not have any goals. 14% have a plan in mind, but the goals are unwritten, and 3% have their goals written down. The study found that the 14% who have goals are 10 times more successful than those without goals, and the 3% with written goals are 3 times more successful than the 14% with unwritten goals. Writing your goals down sets you up to be exponentially more successful, which is one reason why I honestly do believe that having a plan and a schedule not only sets you up to be more productive, but also for more success. Over the years of continuously building up my collection of notebooks and trying out so many different variations, I've discovered some unique things that work for me, some things that haven't worked, and also just some useful tips that I wish I'd known in the beginning when I started using planners. In this video, I want to talk you guys through what I've learned over the years. I want to talk about bullet journaling because we kind of have to, the planners that I'm using at the moment, the system I use, and also just general planner tips to help you guys out. I also just want to quickly say thank you to all you guys who subscribed to our channel over Christmas. I hope that you're well and I truly wish you the best things for 2021. So if you want to start using a planner in 2021, let's jump into the video. So as a quick glance, the planners I use are the Collins 2021 A5 Essentials Diary, this wire-bound lined A5 notebook from Redbubble, this A5 Ottergami Pro vegan leather notebook, this moleskine limited edition hardcover notebook, as well as some notebooks that I've used in the past. And I'll go into more detail about each of them soon. I can honestly say that over the past 7 years, I have tried any kind of way to organise my life. I've tried bullet journaling, I've tried calendar blocking on Google Calendar, I've tried all kinds of fancy on OneNote, and all kinds of planners and notebooks under the sun. So I kind of feel like I know enough about what's good and what's bad in the world of planners. One that I use all the time is a weekly planner. I recently bought this Collins A5 Essentials planner and I've been using that every week. Every Sunday I sit down and I plan the week ahead. I don't know, I just feel that it's kind of relaxing and my mind can just have a complete reset before the week begins. That's how I like to think of it. I've only been using this for 2 weeks, but so far I really like it. The only negative I would say is that there's some ghosting on the pages, which isn't great. The paper is thin too, but honestly that's to be expected as the diary was on the cheaper side. And the reason why I wanted such a simple week to view planner was because I was using this one last year, the Rhodia A5 Perpetual Planner. And I found that I just really didn't like having to put the dates into the margins. And I actually thought that I'd like filling it up and personalising it to how I want it to be. But having a planner with no dates kind of defeats the point of having it in the first place, if you ask me. So yeah, I just wanted one that had pre-existing dates for this year, just so I could save time and not flip to my calendar on my phone. I also realised that I didn't really use this page on the left, and it kind of was just a wasted page at the end of the day. Initially I thought that I would use it for additional notes and to-do lists, that kind of stuff, but I just didn't. Which is why I opted for the double page weekly spread, just simple, classic and quick to write down my schedule. The next thing I use to plan out my life is a to-do list. I recently got this gorgeous wire-bound notebook from Redbubble, which I cannot wait to use. I had some pages left in this rhodia one as well, so I've just been using that at the moment. I simply use this every day to write a list of things that need doing. There's nothing like ticking off a task on your list after you've completed it, right? I like to do this every morning and then I have it with me by my desk all day long. I was previously using this A5 Rhodia staple bound book, which is much simpler. but I was having to clip the pages in order to make them stay open all day, which is why I prefer to use a wire-bound one, just because I find that it is more practical when I have it open all day. Another notebook switch I have for work is what I like to call my ideas notebook. It's nothing fancy, it's just a brain dump of any creative ideas, content planning, that kind of thing. Personally, I don't care about writing neatly in this one, it's just so I can scribble down any ideas and write freely in. I was using this A5 sketchbook that I've actually had for a couple years. It's just a plain simple one, but now it's completely full. I bought this really cool limited edition moleskine one, but unfortunately it hasn't arrived yet. But seriously, when I saw it, I just had to get it. I love the Year of the Ox pattern, gold indentations, and low-key I thought that maybe if I buy this it will bring me more luck for this year. Is anyone else crazy like that? However, surprisingly, I've never actually used a moleskine before, and I know that I've heard a lot of people talk about the paper quality being quite bad now, so if you've used a moleskine recently, let me know what you guys think about that. Now, on a personal level, I use this ottergami A5 notebook as my journal. If you're into manifestation and law of attraction, I use this to write down my goals, my intentions for the month, future scripting, and also as a gratitude journal. I'm really into mindfulness, meditation, and spirituality, so I like to use this book for all that good stuff. I found this on Amazon, and what I would say is that the paper quality is fantastic. I believe it's 150 GSM. And that's the main reason why I bought it, because I wanted to use my fountain pens and I already knew that the notebooks I had wouldn't be able to handle the ink. I don't actually think ottergami is that well known, but this is my notebook with the best quality by far. I think that it would be really good for bullet journaling as well, because of the thick paper and the dotted lines, so that's something to look out for if you're into bullet journaling. As you can see from my planner system, I kind of like to delegate different notebooks for different purposes. My mind kind of works like computer files, and I just feel more organised when everything's in its own specific place. Obviously it's completely up to you, and I do think that different methods work for different people. It's just a trial and error kind of thing. You know, just see what you like best and stick with it. So those are my planners that I'll be using in 2021 that I feel let me be my most productive. So now let's look at some other planning methods that I've used in the past, and also I want to give you guys some tips so that you can decide which planner system will work best for you. What I learned works best for me is by using paper planners rather than digital ones. I find that when using digital formats, it just takes me 10 times longer to actually complete the plan than it would to using pen and paper, especially when it comes to using an iPad to write notes and plan out your schedule. I think that planning on iPads has become really popular within the past 2 years, and I thought it was really cool. I would see it on YouTube and Instagram, and that actually led me to do the same. And whilst it seems just as practical as using pen and paper, I just found that it really wasn't. I would just spend a huge amount of time erasing mistakes, and on the whole it just took a lot longer for me to complete my weekly plan. But I know that a lot of you guys like using iPads for sketching and planning, so you know, by all means stick with it if it works for you. In the same light, I started using Microsoft OneNote to do all my weekly and monthly schedules as well as plan my goals. Really because I thought it'd be a good way to have it on my computer and just be able to flick back and review it when I needed to do in a quick and efficient way. And although that seemed like a good method, I just didn't use it that much. And creating tables and elements like that in OneNote I just found was really time consuming. I actually still use it today for just jotting down any kind of YouTube stuff, but I would say that's more of a brain dump than an actual planning system. On the digital side of things, I also want to talk about Google Calendar. I use this method called calendar blocking, which I learned from Amy Landino's channel. If you don't know what it is, it's basically blocking out your day by using different colours on Google Calendar to make sure that you stick to only spending a certain amount of time on a particular task. In other words, it makes you less prone to procrastinating, and it's supposed to hone you in on what tasks need accomplishing at that exact time in your day. Again, seems like a great idea, right? So what I found with this is that I'd be constantly looking at my phone, but I'd also be writing down my traditional to-do list, so I was actually doubling the amount of planning, but halving my attention span, if that makes sense. I was spending so long flipping back and forth from each one, and yeah, it was just annoying. Also on my phone, it would give me loads of reminders at the top of what I needed to do at that exact time. That also annoyed me as well. But one app that I actually use a lot is Microsoft To Do. It's just a simple app where you can manage different to-do lists all in one place. I use this for any personal stuff around the house or at the weekend that needs doing. Nothing extravagant, unfortunately. Honestly, I found that this is a really good app and I use it all the time. So if you're someone that likes to-do lists, then I would really check that one out. So yeah, after faffing with all these planning methods, I just realised that pen and paper is what really makes me productive and what works best for me. But I know that the methods that I talked about are loved by so many people, which is why I thought to mention them. I think it's really important that we talk about bullet journaling as well, seeming that it's such a huge topic. This was something that I started as well a few years ago because in my head I love planning, obviously, and I love art as well, so I thought the two combined would be a match made in heaven. The one I got was this Leutrim 1917, which is in this emerald colour and has squared lines inside. If you follow me on Instagram, then you'll know that I love watercolour painting as well, so I thought it would be a great way to combine both things that I love together. Yeah, I was wrong. If you've done bullet journaling and also not been a fan of it, then please let me know in the comments so I know that I'm not alone. And what I noticed is that it just took me so long to actually get 2 pages complete that doing a monthly spread would take me at least a couple days to get done. I was just spending too much time on it, and I also didn't like the fact that there was so much freedom when deciding a style and how you should lay out your planner. It was more of an art project for me than planning, which I didn't necessarily want it to be. And I think that all of these amazing, really refined bullet journals that you see on YouTube and Instagram really puts that pressure on you to make yours perfect as well. One, I just do not have the time for that kind of and 2, I just didn't find it fun. But what do you guys think? I'm really interested to know. If you're like me, then January is the planning month. It's a month about getting back into work and just being productive again, rather than me moving like a sloth and eating mince pies off of my sofa. If you're new, then welcome. On this channel we talk about interior design, architecture, illustration, content creation and graphic design, so if any of that interests you, make sure to subscribe to see videos just like this one. And if you like this video, then please give it a big thumbs up, because by doing that you really do help our channel. I really hope I gave you guys some useful tips when it comes to creating a productive planner system. Like I said, this is just what works best for me. Leave a comment below on what your favourite way to plan is and also which planners you bought for 2021. Okay guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!